All right, stay tuned, keep watching this video if you want to see this 1971 International Scout 2 go from this to this. I guess you're just gonna have to watch the video. Sorry about that. On today's episode of This Piece of Crap in My Garage, we've got a 1971 International Scout 2, I believe it is, at least according to the title, and you can see it behind me. So, real quick, I'll do a walk around, show you some of the features and the flaws about this bad boy I picked up over here, and we're gonna show you, I'll just give you an overview of what I'm gonna do to it. And then we'll get right into the good stuff. So enough talking, let's walk. 1971 International Scout 2. It's got some bumps and bruises starting on the passenger side. We're real caved in here. I'll take the fender off, I'll hammer it from the back side, straighten it out as much as I can, use a little bit of heat, and then we'll just skim coat with some short strand fiberglass on that. The hood is pretty, I can't tell, it's so swirled up. I'm sure there's hail damage. There's one big dent here we'll have to fill. Ooh, there's another dent over here. We'll have to hammer that out and then skim coat it. Little dent on this fender. These fenders, I could get them aftermarket online or new or repopped online, but they're like 800 bucks. And yeah, a little chunk there, but it's down low. Otherwise, it's solid and straight enough. So I probably won't go through that. It still has that badge here. That's pretty cool. International Harbor, I think what that is. The door is in great shape. This rocker, I think, is in great shape. No issues there. This door seems straight, at least from what I can tell, straight enough. It'll take me a couple guide coats and getting into it to actually know. Now the big issues with this guy, a lot of these Internationals, same deal. It's got rust around the rear wheel well, the arch, and then down here near the rocker. It's not really in the rocker, actually. You can tell it's totally rotted off the rocker. That's all one piece, but the rocker's fine. It's just this guy on this rear quarter. So I don't know that I haven't looked into it. I don't know if I can get whole replacement pieces. If you guys know of somewhere that sells whole replacement rear quarter skins for these International Harvesters or Scouts, let me know, because that would be pretty useful. But otherwise, I'll cut this out and weld in new metal in this arch, and I'll do that. That should be easy. This big dent here, we got a massive crater. I will pop it out. I gotta look and see if I can get to it from the inside. I don't know to pop it out. Otherwise, I'll get like one of those weld-on dent pullers, and I will just yank it out, smooth it out the best I can. And this is a big flat area, and there's like, I think there might be a slight body line right through here, but I should be able to feather this out easily and get rid of, that visible damage. Looks pretty good here. One small rust hole, but it's a flat area. I'll cut it out and weld it. Tailgate looks fantastic. There's like a couple dents right there. Moving on to our driver's side, looks like some cracking filler, but overall pretty good. Same deal on this side. It's faded bad. Cool patina personally, but again, I mean, that's all solid on both sides. You've got the rust coming through on these areas above the wheel, so I will cut that out and weld it. And then same thing here. The rocker is actually, oh, that rocker might be gone too there, but I'll just weld in a panel here. That shouldn't be too difficult. Door's already been swapped out. I don't know why, but it doesn't match. We're gonna paint it anyways. This rocker needs a little bit of love here. So we'll just chop that out and weld in a piece. That should be easy. It's in a flat area, small curve there. This fender looks pretty good on the front. I'm seeing a little bit of chewed upness here and some evidence of some old welding. Basically, you can tell these are 31-inch tires. They've been rubbing. They still do rub. I'm sure this isn't helping. So that might have been what chewed that up a bit. And the grill looks pretty darn good. Nothing to report there. That bumper, straight enough. I'll just scuff it and repaint it, treat the rust, the surface rust anyways. The top is in okay shape. Some nice light surface rust. And there's some hail damage on top, but to be expected. This door is in fine shape, so is the other one inside. Everything on the inside is kind of rough. I do have the passenger seat. I'm just using that for upholstery to make new covers, so it's at the upholstery shop for me. Ooh. Otherwise, everything in here works. And it's in pretty good condition, I would say. Like, no rust in here. It just had vinyl. The wheel arches are perfect. I've got a cool setup going on for the interior. It should look really nice when it's done. That's a lift kit. It came with it. No idea how much it cost. No idea how much lift it is. But I should hopefully be able to fit the 31s better, and I hope all the pieces are there. That I don't know. 4-speed, I think, with a granny low, I believe it is. And that's over there. Transfer case. Looks like it's got a couple speeds there. 4 low, neutral, 2 high, and 4 high. Standard. All this stuff works. The manual choke works great. You actually need that to start it when it's cold. And then we've got like a manual throttle lever. This is directly linked to the throttle linkage on the carb. It will rev it all the way up if you pull it out. So you just don't have to feather the pedal when you're starting it in the cold. That is pretty convenient. E-brake does work. I drove home with it on, so that's cool. All the gauges work. I don't think the speedometer works, so I'll have to pull the gear out of the back and see what's going on there. Dash is a little cracked, as to be expected. No smells in here. Pretty nice. I mean, the inside is bare bones, and there was never any carpet in it, so there's no mold smells. It works pretty well, I would say. One of the tires does go flat. Never opened that glove box. Don't know what's in there. Haven't tried the heater. I think this is trailer brakes, which are still hooked up. I'm missing this armrest. So if you guys know or have a lead on a driver's side Scout 2 black armrest, let me know. Should look something like that over there. But otherwise, door panels are fine. And everything in here looks pretty darn clean. Ooh. Real quick, let's see. I don't know that I've ever opened this. I did see the previous owner open it, so I know that it does open. I just might need 2 hands because it looks like the handle's broken off here. I don't think it'd be locked, but... Oh, look at that. It's not even... Ooh. Oh, and look at that. Old-fashioned. I don't know how these struts work. They're not really struts, but I think they're supposed to... Oh, I think they've started to hold it, but I don't trust it. And then there's the tailgate area, pretty much straightforward. So let's get into it. I gotta put this down so I can use 2 hands so I can stop the dog from tripping. here is where I lost audio again on the camera. I think I figured it out. It goes in, it only records in slow-mo, and then it does no audio. So when we're editing, we are having to speed it up, but it still doesn't fix the audio. So you can see it in almost normal time now. Look at that mouse nest. But basically, it's got no audio. So I'm gonna do a quick voiceover. I guess apparently that's called like SNQ mode that Sony does. It's Sony for quacks. They make a mode where it doesn't actually film in normal time or volume. And that's what I did. So basically I'll try to recreate what I was saying here. Yes, rust. More rust. Yes, seems solid. Gonna scrape this, spray it with some rust converter. See, that's a solid piece of metal too. Fender, yep. Corner, rocker, rust, tetanus. Checks out, drain hole. Ooh, blur that out. Yes, over here. That's where I put that. The fender. Right where I left you. The dent didn't fix itself. Yeah, I'm gonna pull it out and grind that off probably. Yeah. Okay guys, we're back with another voiceover. Oh Miles, you're so cool, I love you. Yeah, so just another day in the garage here. You can see we're getting into another project. Look at that, less dented. As you can see, I used my magical powers and fixed it. Yep, that's a hole. Couldn't tell you what I was going for here. This one's gonna be a bit of a mystery. Yeah, let's check out the other side. Well, looks like I sanded something. Yes, very smooth. Nice, yes. Tastes like rust. So you could see I hammered it out a good amount. I did that with a torch and then blocks of woods, different hammers, certain stuff. I got it to where I felt it was close enough. Obviously not dead perfect, but I tried to keep certain lines around if they were available while hammering out the main shape so that I could just lay a skim coat over this and blend it in with the rest of the panel. Yes, yummy. Play-Doh. Scrape, scrape, mix, mix. Add weight. Oh my god. As if the first, oh geez, it just keeps going back for more. That was clearly 2% hardener for the filler. Anyone could see that, obvious. Used cardboard too, classic, do it every time. Fight me. See how I cheese it off on the corner? Pro move. Here we go. Here's where war crimes. Yeah, go ahead and pile it on there. And it's important to get that power stance. You can see I've got one leg up in a mansplaining position while the other arm is over there almost like I'm playing Twister with myself. And we're smearing on as much product as possible. I gotta build it up. There's no way around it. Oh wow, splooge dripped off the side there. But it basically, I gotta get the product built up so that I can start sanding it down and recreating those lines. So I threw a bunch on there. This panel needed a lot of work, but it wasn't too bad and it turned out all right. Ah yes, finished. Finished product. Oh my god. That's Steven Spielberg stuff. Look at the way he throws that sandpaper. My god. My god. Placement perfect every time. Third time's the charm. Yep, triple tap.
Hey Miles, my dad just called. He said you're really cool and he looks up to you. Also, my mom thinks you're really awesome too. Okay, thanks. It doesn't have to be concealed. Fun thing with bruises is they heal. Good thing that scars have sex appeal. I'm way less healthy than I feel. Fun thing with bruises is they heal. Good thing that scars have sex appeal. I'm way less healthy than I feel. Fun thing with bruises is they heal. Good thing that scars have sex appeal. I'm way less healthy than I feel. Chicks, ain't that some shit? I ain't falling for that trick, no girl, I'm sick of it. You can't play me right here anymore. Pull that shit and I'll walk out the door. Didn't know I had a knock in my own house. Didn't think you'd cover up in that sheer blouse. Why'd I keep you around here anymore? When you can't wait to see me out the door. Didn't think it'd be so tough just to keep it cool. Acting up around my friends and now you look a fool. Why'd I take you out around the town when I know you're gonna bring me down? Good girls get roses, dumb guys get used. My girl's a poser, yeah. Now I'm a fool.
Okay, so what you're seeing on the screen here is I got scared of trying to fix all that sheet metal, and I found a company online. I can put the link, I can't remember off the top of my head while I'm doing this voiceover, but I can put the link in the description below of where I got these panels. I'm happy with them. It turned out great, and it saved me a ton of time. I believe as of like May 2025, the panels were, I say it was, oh geez, they were like 300 something a piece, I think. And then the shipping wasn't too bad from NorCal, so we're like 600, and so for the two, but then I had to pay like 150. It was just under $1,000 to get them to my door because it was complete BS because I'm not a commercial location. I don't have a forklift, so they had to charge me some whatever thing, even though they barely weighed anything. Some guy just set them down on my doorstep with a box. But what you're looking at here is I'm trying to explain how to do it. You're just drilling out all of the spot welds around the entire panel, and then it comes off right inside the door there. It goes up underneath on the rocker, it goes into the wheel well, it's welded to the inner fender, or the inner panel, and then right behind that bubble for the taillight, that one was a pain in the butt. I might have some footage of what I had to do there, but it's all along the top once you remove the top right at that like seam, and then behind that light. So let's see. Now we'll check out some of the stamping work from these guys on the internet that I found this from. I know they were out of Sacramento, but I was happy with the stamping work. Not dead perfect, but good enough to just scuff it, lay primer. That's a dent that it must have happened in shipping. But otherwise, I thought everything looked pretty good. Good enough to scuff and spray. Okay, here you see me drilling out the spot welds at the top underneath where the roof sits. I got one of those spot weld attachments for a drill on Amazon. It worked fine. There was a learning curve. Don't put too much pressure when you're first getting it set. You want to slowly increase the pressure as it starts to drill out the spot weld, and once you get it hooked on there, then you can push a little harder and drill through the rest of the weld. But it tries to slip out if you just push down right away. It catches and spins. Back side of this, that's what I typically do. Weld through primer on all the areas I'm going to be spot welding or welding. I always put weld through primer. And there's the other panel, weld through primer as well, all around. And those areas that still had bare metal, I just used not my expensive weld through primer for those areas. That I just used like a bare metal etching primer. And in case you didn't get that before, I'm pointing at it. Alright, I got all the spot welds drilled out, I think. Okay, so what I'm showing you there is I cut a seam. You can't really drill out the spot welds to get that rear quarter area side of the bed side off of the taillight bubble with the bed side in the way. Now it looks like some sparks are flying, so I must be cutting something. Now it might be free. I was removing it in two pieces essentially, and it was kind of a pain in the butt to weld it back on there. I probably could have figured out how to get that taillight bubble off and maybe just welded that separately to the bedside. That would have been smarter, I think. Hindsight 2020 though. So all the spot welds are out. It pretty much comes right off, and then you just see that inner bedside, inner fender, whatever, the whole inner panel that you're going to be welding your new, I'm calling it a bedside. That is a look at that taillight bubble and that area where the bedside is welded to. You can see it right there to that bubble. So I was able to easily drill out those spot welds now that I have the panel cut in half, but obviously putting it back on, you can't really do that. And I think there was a bit of seam sealer in there from the factory, so yeah, I think I'm showing you. Would have been better if I had just pulled this off, welded it to my panel on the ground, and then I could spot weld in the entire thing, bedside with bubble. But Ah, there's me, covered in some dirt. And showing you a removed side. Let's see. Probably just walking you through everything else that we already talked about. So. Okay, we're back again. Oh, my dog's making noises. The panel. Look at that. Wow. Golly, it's in so little work. Oh, maybe it's not. I have it stuck on there with vice grips, it looks like. I'm getting ready to start spot welding it. I'm just trying to line it up, and I'm probably telling you I am going to glue it with bubble gum or something to that side bubble. No, I have a plan for that. I was able to get the welder through there. Just making sure everything lines up, so I think my door is down a little bit. Oh, now it looks better from that angle. I probably spent a good amount of time lining it up with the vice grips and wiggling it, but basically make sure your door isn't sagging a bunch, and then if that needs to be adjusted, do that first. But otherwise, make sure your body lines line up. What am I doing here? Probably cleaning. Oh, you know what? That looks like I spot welded some stuff up there, and I'm probably cleaning off the spatter with the brush. Okay, the lift kit that free came in the back of the vehicle. I believe it was actually a 2 or a 2.5 inch lift when I looked up the part numbers. It was for a Scout, and it was from rough country, clearly. But I think everything was there. I was not missing any pieces, and only being a 2-inch lift, as you can see me picking through the parts, doesn't come with a ton. You don't need a ton. Didn't have to extend any brake lines or anything. And it did have full leafs for the front and the rear, which was nice. And all the shocks were still there and included. So all in all, a pretty good score considering this came free in the back of the truck. Okay, the Scout is down on the ground. Lift kit went in super easy. Now I'm gonna back it out. Okay, here it is from the side. Stance looks pretty beefy. Campbell's Chunky Noodle Soup right here. I'm digging it. The 2-inch lift was definitely needed.
Can't get the feeling out of my head. Can't watch the sunshine
Paint is done. It's a new day. You can see it hanging out behind me. For the most part, now we're on the downhill stretch, kind of the fun part. I would argue painting in the booth is fun. All the bodywork's not very fun, but the paint job went relatively all right. I can't complain. There were some issues that we ran into. I'll show you them. I'll walk you around on the paint and just show it to you. But other than that, cannot complain. We painted the topper white. We chose to stick with white on that and go with a metallic blue on that guy. I can show you the paint box with the code and everything. Same shop that I always use for my paint. But everything turned out, I'm happy. I don't know how things are coming out on camera, but 2-stage, so it is real glossy. There was a bit of orange peel. You can see that. You know, would need to be likely cut and buffed if you wanted to get rid of that. For me, it's not worth it. I don't mind. It's okay. The issues we ran into, some fry-ups. You can see right here on the fender. The base coat fried up. And it did right there as well. And it also did in these other areas that I caught. So right there you can see through and you see like a little crater. That fried up, I caught it, we stopped, I sanded it out, and then one other spot somewhere else on this fender, we caught it early enough, and I sanded it out, and I didn't wait long enough for it to dry, so it kind of ripped it up like it's a crater. It's not really a good sanding mark. I should have waited longer, but I didn't catch these other fry-ups until later, and I did not get a chance to fix any of those. We didn't have any fry-ups on the hood. That went really well. This fender, I don't think we had any fry-ups. The door, no fry-ups. Just some of the bodywork wasn't that great. I didn't fix all of the dents. Some of them I knew about. Some I found out as soon as we shot the gloss on. I absolutely knew about these ones. The rear panels here, they turned out fine because there was no bodywork and no fry-ups. So I'm still kind of getting the hang of that. If you guys got any like pro tips or ideas with the fry-ups that I'm dealing with, let me know. The only thing I can come up with, it happens typically not on new panels. It happens where there's bodywork. Now the filler, I always spray it with a filler primer over top of the filler, so I'm never spraying base coat directly onto like filler or Bondo. But it only seems to fry up in those areas, but it doesn't consistently fry up wherever I put the filler primer, because I filler primered this entire panel because it was a new panel, it was just bare metal, and we had no fry-ups there. And I was trying to keep my base coat really light. I wasn't trying to lay on heavy layers with it. I don't really know what's going on with the fry-ups. So I'm still figuring out that, but if you guys know, let me know. Otherwise, I'm happy with the way things turned out. More orange peel than I'd like. The gun can only go up to 35 PSI. The base coat, I'll show you, that actually says to shoot it at 55 to 60 PSI. So, you know, I'm using a Black Widow from Harbor Freight, that clear coat gun, but maybe I need to get a different gun that can do higher PSI. Here is the base coat I chose. Same thing from Restoration Shop. It was this metallic blue. There is the paint code in case you're interested. But just keep in mind, it all looks different on camera versus real life. So, I don't know. If you like it, that's the color. The other thing, we got our carpet kit. I don't think I showed this yet. I'm super stoked about this. AC Auto carpets. I love their carpet kits. This all has mass-backed vinyl on the underside of it. Whoa, camera's falling. Mass-backed vinyl on the underside, so that should really help with sound deadening. But before I can do that, I need to seam seal the areas that I welded in the patches on the floor. So I'm gonna lift this thing up, install the shocks, because I never did that from the lift kit, and then I'll seam seal the underside of, and the top side of all the areas where I patched the floor and any rust holes. Then I can glue down my carpets.
Hold me back before I get us
update here. And there's the little furry brown monster in the background, messing everything up. Oh, there's the other one in the background. But we've made some progress here. It probably looks a little bit different. There's a bunch of blue crap, bunch of furry blue crap everywhere. I've gotten some of the carpet kit installed, and it looks great. I am still very satisfied with everything. They gave me more than I needed, and I think I know why, but the tailgate, carpet, the interior rear, the wheel wells, the side panels, everything fit incredibly well. I've got nothing bad to say. I really haven't needed to trim anything. The front carpet's all in. It fits perfectly way up to the firewall, all up in there. The side kick panels are glued down. They fit perfectly, and they are cut out for your fresh air vents that you can see. I did have to cut the holes for the shifters, but you know, that's to be expected. In case it was automatic, you can't have holes there. I put the horn button on that I got off of, I think I bought this off Amazon, but it came from IH Parts America, I think. Looks great. They give you a silver option and a black option. I love silver, but I think the black just objectively looks better. I got the sun visors back on. I got the door seals back in. Got a armrest put on up here. Now, the reason why I have extra pieces there that the kit comes with from Auto Carpets is because I would guess there's a different option for door panels for these Scouts, where you might just have like a shorter one and you'd have an exposed piece on the bottom that you could put carpet. Now personally, since I have the carpet, now I wish I had that, but my door panel goes all the way to the bottom, so I'm not gonna buy different door panels just to put on the carpet piece. But it's almost like a K5 Blazer where you could have that carpet on the bottom, and I think that just looks better personally to have everything matching. But everything's going together really well. The molding, everything fits almost dead perfect. I mean, I've got zero complaints with the carpet kit. I love the way that it's turning out so far. I think that's pretty much it. We're just doing reassembly, and I'll check back in a little bit. As I was here installing the tailgate, I got to thinking you might have a question about how the panels are installed and the carpet, and I figured I might as well go over it while I'm waiting for the glue to dry. There's two different options. Basically, on the K5 Blazer you guys have seen, there's little screws all around the entire panel on the side that hold it in, and they've got little silver washers to help it look a little better and not catch the fabric and tweak it, that go around them. And I thought about doing that, but I thought this would look a little better just because it's a lighter color, and if I would have done that, there'd have been screws all along everywhere, and I just wasn't sold on the look of it. You know, the K5 Blazers have it. I don't know, there's one right there you've seen in other videos. But I figured if I just glue it on like this, it's less removable if I need to take it off in the future. But I don't really, there's one panel behind here that accesses your evap stuff for behind the gas tank. Now maybe you'd need to get in there, but other than that, there's no reason to get behind this panel. So I don't think you'd need to get in there. I opted for just gluing it down, and I'm using just this permanent max strength 3M90 that you use for headliners or anything else. You spray it on there, wait a little bit, let it tack up, and if you see, you want to put the back of your knuckle on it, and then it should feel sticky but not stick to your knuckle. So that's pretty good to go. There's some thicker spots over here that might see that sticking to my knuckle. It's not really ready yet to go, but you just spray it on there all over on both sides and then put it down, and it's pretty permanent. You don't have the chance to move it around or reposition it like the 3M70 stuff. But that's how I'm gluing these panels down. That's how I glue the wheel well arches down. They're glued down from the factory. I would always recommend gluing them down. You shouldn't ever need to remove that. The back panel, depending on what's behind it, maybe you don't want to glue it down, but in my case, I figured it was fine. I glued down the kick panels up the front by the fresh air vents, and I didn't glue down any of the actual carpet on the floor because gravity holds it down, seats hold it down, and there's a lot of these trim panels that hold it down. That's how I'm installing these panels. Upholstery came back, so there it is. I'm super happy with the color match on everything. It's like a grayish, bluish, slightly tealish, greenish color. They had the pleats, I had my guy match it. If you guys are in the Denver area and need any upholstery work, go to Rima Upholstery. Juan is the best. That guy gets everything done every time. I'm always impressed and happy with it. So now I just gotta throw the upholstery back in, and I fixed the cracks on the dash, so I'll put that back in. And then, you know, seat brackets, and then the topper. And it should be pretty much sorted out. I'll show you a final walk around. Hey, another update time. Not looking too bad. Not looking too shabby at all. Guess I'll pop in here for you. Get the full experience. Come on, focus. Nice. Alright, it's doing its thing. It's having an aneurysm. But check that out. Man, the upholstery looks so good. Carpet looks great. I love the colors. Dash is back in. I mean, I don't know, that's black. You can see that. Door panels match the black. It's the blue color of the car. And I think it goes real well with the carpet and upholstery that we picked. That's giving you pretty much the full rundown on the inside. Now let's mount that Schmeat on it and see how the 31s look. She is touching down. 3, 2, 1. 1.5. We have tires. We have front tires. Eventually it will stop. All right, let's see. Looking good on those 31s. The lift looks good. Yeah, we'll have to get it fully backed out, but that's a good stance. Pretty beefy, huh? The white on the blue looks pretty good. Hard to get an interior shot. I really dig the color scheme. Each box. Here will be the final walk around of this thing. Man, lighting's terrible, but you can at least maybe see that it that blue is pretty sparkly in the sun. Trying to get a more backed up shot, but it's difficult. So, and there's some terrible contrasted lighting for you. That is everything on this truck. It is pretty much fully wrapped up. There's one more look at the interior. Very clean, you know, nice job. I think someone's gonna be very happy. Cool car, real cool car, and it was a lot of fun restoring it, so on to the next one. Thanks for your input, Butter.